Alright, today I'm going to show you how to change out your spark plugs. It's a pretty easy thing to do. It just takes a couple of simple hand tools like a ratchet set. Save yourself a couple $100 from the dealership. And I'll just go over a couple things that you're going to need. First of all, you're going to need a spark plug socket on a ratchet, an air compressor. Although it's not really needed, it's really recommended just because, well, we'll get into that later. And your spark plugs. So right here, I got my new ones. These are double platinum. They're supposed to be pretty good. The particular engine that I'm working on right now is for a 2009 F150 5.4 liter Triton. About 96,000 kilometers, so it's about time. So first of all, what you want to do is locate where your spark plugs are. For this one, they're located underneath something called plugs, which are right around here. I don't know if you can really see that. So on there, there, and further down. Some smaller engines like 4 cylinders, the plugs are actually located underneath a panel. So you'll have to remove that first, but this is pretty straightforward. So I'll go ahead and I'll start taking off these coils and show you how to do it. All right. Usually on these coils, there's a little screw holding them together. So we'll take that off first. My hand's in the way, you can't really see it. Let's take the screw out, put that off to the side. There's a little electrical connector right here. You want to take that thing off. Now the entire coil should just pull right out. So you take it out, there it is. That's what causes or gives the electricity to the spark plug. And gives it the voltage to create the spark. Put that off to the side. Alright, the next part you're going to need compressed air for. If you don't have an air compressor, I highly suggest you go out and get one. It doesn't have to be anything really fancy or powerful, just enough to blow some air around. What we do is we stick it down into the hole where the spark plug was, right there. And just blow out whatever dirt, dust, or rocks have fallen in. Alright, so now we shouldn't really have anything left in there. What's actually a really good idea sometimes is take a flashlight, shine it in there, or if you have an inspection camera, use that as well. It's happened to me twice with 2 other plugs already that I've actually found a rock down there. If you take the spark plug out with there being dirt and debris down there, it could fall into your engine, and you don't really want that happening. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to shine some light down there and verify that the plug is nice and clean. Alright, everything's clean in there, so I'm going to start taking out the plug. So we put it down in there until it's nicely seated. If your plugs are really stuck in there, what you might want to try is spraying some carburetor cleaner in there. That'll break up any seized plugs. This one's not too bad. gently take it out. A spark plug socket has a metal gasket in it that helps to keep the plug seated in there as you lift it out. So you can see this is at about 96,000 kilometers. Not too bad. Take the new one out. And one thing you're going to want to check is if your spark plugs need to be gapped. These particular ones come pre-gapped, so I don't have to worry about that. If they do need to be gapped, make sure you check for what the specific gap is for your vehicle. You can get a gapping tool. They're like $2 at your local parts store. And I'll put this thing in. So I'll seat it back into the socket. Gently put it back in there. You don't want to damage it. And start turning. If you feel some resistance right when you're putting it in there, you might have the threads crossed. You don't want to do that. If you damage your threads, you could be in for a very, very costly repair bill. What you want to do is you want to put it in pretty much hand tight. And take your ratchet. And you want to torque it to the manufacturer specifications. If you don't have a torque wrench or you don't have that information, a good rule of thumb is just hand tight with a ratchet. You don't want to over tighten it, because then you won't be able to get them out. So once the spark plug is back in, you take the boot, or the coil I should say, put it back in there. Should seat nicely on the plug. Take the screw. And start putting it back in there. Again, you don't want to over tighten it, just hand tighten. Take the electrical connector, clip it back on. That's how you change the spark plug. Follow the same procedure for all the other ones, however many you have, whether it's 4, 6, or 8, or 10. And that's pretty much it. So if you guys like the video, click like, I greatly appreciate it. And stay tuned, I'll be doing other things to this truck and I'll show how you do it. Alright, thanks. Bye.